progresses, The Columnist, starring two-time Tony Award winner John Lithgow, has officially opened on Broadway. We're here at the Samuel J. Friedman Theatre to get the scoop from the stars of this headline-worthy political play that delves into the power of the press. How excited are you to be here on opening night of The Columnist?
I'm not as excited as you. You're so excited. That's fantastic. I'm very excited. There's so many great people in the cast, and Dan Sullivan is a brilliant director, so I can't wait to see it.
You know, I've worked with John Lithgow before.
Really?
In the Tony Award-winning Dirty Rotten Scoundrels, and he's a dear, dear friend, and I think he's one of our great American stage actors. I'm thrilled to be here.
David Auburn also is everybody knows his work with Proof and his amazing abilities.
Very excited because I want to be with people who totally outleague me. And I'm like, wow, Pulitzer Prizes, Nobel Prizes. It's so wild. This is going to be classy.
Happy opening. How does it feel?
Happy is the word. We just felt it went great tonight. We've been having a terrific time from day one of rehearsals, but this was a kind of culmination.
Oh my God, I feel just so exhilarated, and I feel like I have a cloud underneath my feet, like I'm being raised up. It's wonderful.
Joseph Alsop is such an amazing, complex character. What made you decide to build a play around him?
Well, just the challenge of trying to capture all of the contradictions and all of the complexities of this person, who was not just embroiled in a lot of personal drama, but was also at the center of all this political and international drama. So it just seemed like a natural fit.
We're in a time of, choose the politics you want to hear on TV or radio. You can just choose it to support your own point of view. But there was a time when that wasn't true, and Joe Alsop really was someone who was in your face.
David Auburn really knows how to tell an incredibly gripping story. He's got 6 extraordinary characters, all sorts of emotions flying around. Anytime you get a play that intersects emotion and ideas, then you have something.
Why did you decide to put John Lithgow in this amazing role?
Well, John called me and said, I have to do this role. And I said, okay, John. I'll let you. He's just sort of perfectly suited to it in every way.
He's really a lion on stage, and he's interpreted this character beautifully. And I love making these very domestic scenes come alive.
You never really know where it's going to go. And when it turns in all these different ways, it always surprises you, and it always surprises me every night.
Now, as an amazing actor, you've dealt with a lot of You've dealt with a lot of columnists and journalists. What is one of the most interesting things you've ever read about yourself in a newspaper?
I don't think I've ever read anything interesting about myself in a newspaper.
Anything that comes in the house, I just, I sort of like put it out for the kids to do art projects on and stuff. I just really try to stay away from that stuff.
It's a really good question. Then I'll have a great answer for it as soon as I'm like upstairs and I'm like, oh, I have to come back down.
I will be very flattered when there's a day when something very interesting has been written about me. So far, nothing comes to mind because we're working on it. Maybe tonight, maybe after tonight, there will be a really good scandal at the party, and that'll end up in the press tomorrow morning.
Most of what I've read about myself is true. Very little of it is scandalous. I did run into a National Enquirer editor once who shook his head and said, I have to apologize, we're just not interested in you.